Welcome to the One Up Podcast. I am your host, aka Damn. I fucked up the intro, boys.
Damn, already? That was 3 words.
Because he did it again. He AK'd himself
Yeah,
before
when
he
I
was
say
saying his
my
name. So how you doing today, Tony? This is the One Up Podcast, all right? This is our host, El Caballo, a.k.a. the CEO, a.k.a. the Great One, a.k.a. I don't got more AKs. The horse.
AKA the main one.
The
top
main
dog.
one.
The main one and the great one? That's a lot.
It's a lot. I'm here with some of my co-hosts, also friends, family members, amigos forever, bros forever. My dog Pucho, aka the editor, aka Mr. Clean.
Damn.
Facts.
I like that. I shaved this morning.
The Purple Lantern.
Damn.
Is there a purple?
blue
There's probably
right
a
now,
purple
but-
lantern in DC, right?
There has to be. Pucho will be that dude.
I like purple.
Facts. That's why I said it. Also, I got my dog Mateo, aka the Green Thumb.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't even plant.
used to
AKA,
plant.
you used to plant?
I used to plant. I was a plant daddy for a while, but I got all my plants froze.
Sheesh.
That freeze that came through last year killed all my plants, and I was like, nope, I'm done with it.
Damn.
It's always a shame when the plant daddy has to bury his plant babies. Although I guess it's part of the normal growing process. Maybe it's not. Maybe this might not be a straight
AKA
comparison.
the plant daddy, AKA seed dropper. He's dropping seeds.
I like that.
That's crazy. Also, last but not least, I got my dog Doe, aka not your favorite DJ, aka is your favorite DJ,
AKA the whale of the Nintendo store.
aka dropping 6 bills on anything he wants, aka the bike master.
Damn,
Yeah.
Moomin Rider himself.
The bicycles
Rider.
are for justice. They are for justice, guys.
I'm not gonna lie, that's the whitest white tee I've seen in years. Shit,
Fresh.
that shit is fresh. You must have just popped that out the bag.
When you come here, I'm gonna get you a tee this white. These tees, when you get them out of the packet, they're so white that they look blue.
Those are those Lickworth tees from the the A Street shop or whatever by the corner store next to the Capri's Pizza.
Are you giving up his secret spot?
But no, that's not his secret spot. It's in the Florida thing.
That was the old school. That's when we used to cop the cotton net Supremes,
Facts.
the fucking cotton net. There was a lot of different cotton brands. I'm pretty sure it was the one company making these things, putting different tags on them.
Shit was the
terrible.
whitest of whites.
We were buying and this is us. You know, we're all big guys. We're talking like our slim day. We're talking about the thinnest people you've ever seen in your life. Just buying like 6XT tall and just wearing a fucking bata, like a pajama, bro. Like it's a fucking nightgown is what these shirts look like. It's fucking horrible.
That was those Soldier Boy days when motherfuckers would just wear baggy ass clothes. Shit's terrible.
Yeah, I never thought of those days as the Soldier Boy days, but sure. Yeah,
That's how they're gonna be.
We were wearing baggy clothes.
That's what the historians are going to be saying in about 100 years. They're going to be looking back on the Soldier Boy era of American history.
Bro, the man, no one really gives that man respect, but the man started this whole YouTube shit with the music and shit like that. Like, Justin Bieber came following after that.
We're gonna identify as before Soldier Boy, after Soldier Boy.
Oh, man, you got to give credit where credit's due. How was everybody's weekend, man? Doe, how was your shit, man? Tell me about it.
My week's pretty good. It's been getting nice out here, so I went on a little 25-mile bike ride today.
Damn.
Half of it was with Jesus, and then he bailed on me once his bicycle ran out of battery. Battery ran out. But I'm proud of myself. Most of the ride, I didn't even have my motor on.
That's impressive.
So I'm happy about that.
That's
I was
fire.
riding. Yeah, so shout out to the PlayStation Squad. You guys know who you are. Jesus, Sam, yo, we really be tearing these co-op streets up together.
Is this about Alien Fireteam?
No, we started a new game, Ghost of Tsushima, and
Okay,
I must say, yeah, we make a pretty good team in this game. You know, we're kicking ass, we're winning matches. The updates that they made to the game too have helped the game out. There's a lot of balances.
I'm curious, who's the leader among you three?
We share it all together. Like it's like one really big cock ring, and we're all in there together.
How do we always go back to cock rings?
I've never heard a leadership style described as a cock ring.
So but someone has to be the leader. So like, even though it's a team thing, there's clearly one person that comes up with the plan of attack. Who is the planner?
Sam. 9 times out of 10, yeah, Sam.
Sam's the quiet one, but he might be the big dick Andy of the group, you know?
Yeah.
He
really takes the role.
Damn.
Let's go, guys.
That's fire, though. So you guys are enjoying it then, huh?
Yeah, there's these spirit dogs that we all like to hog. We all like to just buy the spirit dogs, and every time we can't buy it, we have to ask everybody who's holding on to some spirit dogs. Like, you better use that shit. You better use that shit. It's like, I got my points ready for some spirit dogs. You can pet them. You can pet the spirit dogs. Pretty cool.
Mid-battle, y'all be petting the dogs?
Yeah.
I think you're basically not allowed to put an animal into a game anymore unless you can pet it, right?
Yeah, they made that Twitter. It's super famous.
Damn. Didn't know that.
I might need to hop back on this.
We were talking about, like, now that we are in here, our energy, the Yakubian energy that we're going to be off-putting in the party, hopefully it overtakes your soul and you can join us.
All right. I don't know if I want to join anymore. But...
Are you being accused of having Yakubian energy? Is that what's happening?
That's exactly what's happening right now. How was your weekend, Pooch?
It was good.
It. Let me see.
I just came back from down south visiting my brother. You know, saw Tony. I want to correct the record, right? I called Tony the great one. He's not the great one. Damn. His son is the great one. I saw Luca the great, okay? You know, he was at the bar again. We took Luca to the Irish pub. We were taking shots, drinking drinks. Luca was taking big gulps of water. Lit. He was lit. He had these the crispiest French fries I've ever had. Luca was just chomping. And he was just vibing with the boys. I liked it.
I went to Flanagan's.
Nah, some Irish.
I don't know. It was some Irish place on the old people's downtown. There's downtown, and then there's like old people downtown. There's on Lake Ave. This is Dewey's old block.
I thought most of Florida, except for Miami, was old people downtown.
Yeah, that's not inaccurate, but depending on the times, different people. Even Lake Ave gets pretty young depending on what time. But I don't think the average age dips below like 35 or something. It's like this is old people central, right? Like we were down there, the only brown guys, and the only like less than like 40-year-old like people at the bar. Everybody was it was like a bunch of cotton swabs all over the place. But I was chilling. Just been in the Elden Ring, bro.
I heard you
Elden
guys.
Ring is good.
You guys intended to order chicken wings, but they tried to stop you.
Oh yeah, nah, that's not what happened. This is our first time we've ever been to this bar, and then the owner walks up to us and he's like, "Yo, I know you guys are normally chicken wing guys, but we have these wonderfully petite steaks, these 8-ounce sirloins." And I was just like, I mean, you're right. I am a chicken wing guy, but I don't know what you mean by normally, but this is my first time walking in this place. So I felt like he made some assumptions. He went to all the brown folk in the corner and was like, "Yo, these people like chicken, right? They like the fried chicken." He wasn't wrong, because we were all about the chicken wings. But it's the principle, okay? It felt weird.
That assumption, huh?
These are the weird interactions, man. This is the weird, tiny little shit that we run into every single day.
Shit is weird though. I mean, like it just, when you're brown, everybody just thinks they'll automatically assume certain shit. It's just so.
Yeah, I mean, it was trying to be nice, but it was just like when he walked away, my brother was like, "What fuck he meant like." Like you guys are usually, you know what I mean? And even Chris, we were all just fucking laughing. We're like, what the fuck?
Shit is a beast.
Yeah. Shit was eventful. And there was this guy, he walked into the bar and they were like, nah. He started calling they were trying to kick him out. They were like, nah, you were here yesterday and we had to throw you out the bar. And he started calling the bartender a whole, a prostitute, a bitch, all types of shit. And yeah, so everybody, like, B gets pissed off about these things. So he was like, he was telling me in Spanish because he wasn't trying to like make the block out, but he was like prepping like the fucking like the Cape Avenger, like he was ready to go in and start sucker punching this dude. And he was trying to prep us all so that we could all go in there and just go Wally gang on this dude.
The only brown people in the whole entire bar, and these mans are ready to just pop off. Some would say the owner had fair assumptions.
Every bar needs a protector. Sometimes that protector is a man walking in with a cane that he wields like a katana.
What the fuck?
You don't remember that dude at Flanagan's?
No.
The guy rolling around with a cane?
Oh my God.
Was I there? I feel like I was there.
Yo, that guy gave me a lot of anxiety. I was tense.
That guy was stressful.
I was like looking at him the whole time. He was pacing around. He was mumbling to himself. Like I was ready. I was like, if he makes one sudden movement, I'm knocking this motherfucker out.
I remember
like,
that.
I'm just going for it. Like, cause he had this fucking stick and he was just swinging it around like the Star Wars kid. And and we were like, what the fuck? And then he was like mumbling to himself, like if something was pissing him off. And then he was pacing all over the place.
He wasn't even waiting for a table or anything. He was just
Wasn't he watching me play the snowboard game or some shit?
Yeah, he watched y'all play the snowboard game.
That's what drew him over there.
It was your face that drew him over, Tony. This is your nonsense face drawing in nonsense people.
My bad. How was your nonsense ass weekend, Mateo? Please enlighten all of us.
So I bought Elden Ring and I've put all of 30 minutes into it.
Nice.
It's good. I just haven't had time to dedicate to it. It's been a big gaming weekend, man. I beat Loop Hero finally.
Oh shit!
Nice.
Shit was hard. Nice. Shit was very hard. But yeah, I beat Loop Hero. I'm not gonna 100% it. I'm not getting all the trophies. I don't have time for that shit.
Yes.
It's one of those grindy games that I'm never gonna do that on.
Yeah, the game is like grindy as is. Just to get to the ending, you gotta grind.
Oh, dude, I've been playing. When I beat the game, I was playing on like 3x time on my loops. Like they would still take 40 minutes each loop.
Yeah, I always try to play at the fastest pace.
We checked out this Rubber Bandits game on the Xbox Game Pass, and that game is ridiculous. It is just a straight up like party brawl game, and you just throw stuff at each other, knock each other unconscious, and hit each other with sticks. It's like you're criminals. You're trying to rob the places, so you have to get the most loot and escape. But if you get hit, you drop all your loot, and then people can pick up your money and get out of there. It's a big old like fighting game, basically.
Sounds real good for Doughboy to come through. You know what I mean? He just sit there and lurk. As soon as that shit's dropped, gone.
That's one of the strategies, man. You just wait by the exit with like a pipe or something, just to bash someone on the head when they come through.
It's crazy. No honor, no respect.
But otherwise, not shit, man. I did some cleaning. I vacuumed today. Cleaned up around my place. I bought a curling bar, so I could do actual like heavier curls that I'm doing right now with my dumbbells. It's a little bit easier to find the plates for cheap. Nothing big, man. I have not been super excited this week. My sleep schedule has been fucked up. I've been doing like 4 hours of sleep a night and then taking like a nap during lunch, and that's been my sleep schedule.
That sucks.
Mm-hmm.
For once, I watched the movie before you guys. Ha 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 ha.
You did.
Yes, I did, and none of you have watched it.
We need
but I have.
We need a no spoiler quick review. Is it worth watching? Do we need to watch it?
Yes. Yeah, you gotta watch it. Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Score?
Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, I thought you watched it already.
I was gonna go on Friday, but you know how me and my wife be. We be like, yo, we're gonna do all the most things. And then when we get time off, we're like, actually, we're just gonna fucking lay in bed together. Just don't do anything. Like,
Yeah, let's take our pants off and relax.
it's so good. Like doing nothing is so good. So yeah, we ended up not watching Batman.
I find a lot of joy in doing nothing and also on canceling on events. There's something very freeing about canceling on like a bullshit event. Who was it that was talking about a wedding that was like for a cousin? And like, I was like, man, I would have canceled on that 20 times already. There was no part of me that would have. It wasn't even a wedding. It was an engagement party or something, right?
An engagement party, yeah. I went to that today.
Yeah, I would canceled on that 5 times, dude. Like,
So do you get off on just like setting up events with people or then just canceling the last minute?
I get a lot of joy out of canceling on events that I don't think I need to be at, and things like I don't know. I don't spend a lot of time with my extended family. My cousin invited me to his wedding. I'm probably not going to be there. Probably not going.
It's crazy to me.
I hope he doesn't watch the pod.
You know, he doesn't watch the pod. I cancel out all those events. He doesn't want to watch it.
So do it quick. So for sure watch. What's your score?
Oh, it's like, I want to say a 9, but I would say 8.5.
All right, and then relative to the only Batmans that people care about, which are the 3, is the Dark Knight trilogy pretty much. Like where, like between those 3 movies, where would you rank it? Because Dark Knight's number 1, right?
You can't even. It's like on a league of its own. It's such a different tone. The cinematography, the tone of the movie, it subverts your expectations a lot.
I heard something pretty exciting about it. I heard that it is a Batman movie that actually has him doing detective work.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. You usually don't get to see a lot of the Batman detective work in these movies.
Yeah, I can't wait till you guys see it. I can't wait to talk about it because it's growing on me. I watched it yesterday and I was just like, what the fuck did I really just watch? And my brain is all putting it together. And the more that I watch it, I'm like, yo, it's a different type of Batman movie.
What the vibes I'm getting off of you right now explaining it seems like this shit needs to be a fucking show instead of a movie.
You know, when I was watching it in the 2.5 hour mark, I told myself that. I said, this probably could have been a show. And I would have been completely fine with this too. And it would have been an incredible show. But I think there was no wasted time. I think all the scenes got air to breathe because it was 3 hours. So it wasn't doing that thing where they kept cutting to different scenes. A lot of the scenes got room to breathe and you just got a lot of weight in the room sometimes. But it's not your normal. He's very grounded. It's a very grounded Batman. That's what I would say.
Well, now I definitely want to watch it more now.
Yeah.
And I was definitely, since I saw the trailer, bro.
Looks good.
Yeah, I fucking love I knew the cinematography was gonna be good when in the trailer at the very end, they like
the camera flip.
Just the Batman logo. Like they're kind of putting it all together, and the letters are kind of falling into place. Like that shit seems so like crazy artistic that I was like, all right, I already know they're going for like. I don't know. I just got like they're going for like interesting shots in this movie. Like,
I did watch a very terrible movie with Zoe Kravitz plays Catwoman in the movie, right?
Yes, yeah. Great performance.
I watched the movie Kimmy with Zoe Kravitz in it. Movie's garbage.
I liked it.
I did not enjoy it.
I said, you heard me. I said Mimi. It's Kimmy.
Dude, I was okay with it until the very end where it just goes straight Home Alone. When after she gets to her apartment, I was like, "This is fucking stupid. This is ridiculous."
Yeah, that ending was ridiculous.
I've never even heard of this movie.
Yeah,
I saw it on HBO Max.
At the ending, she basically like spoilers for Mimi, which I don't think anybody should give a fuck about. But at the end, she rigs like a nail gun so that it could. Usually, nail guns are like you have to have pressure against it in order for the mechanism to fire. She rigged it so that there was always pressure on it, and she just started clapping people with like 30 nails, clack 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 clack. Damn. Like she was just lighting people up. It was crazy, but it was ridiculous.
It was excessive. It was so ridiculous.
Yeah. How was your week, Tony?
My week was okay, not too crazy.
What you mean? You had drinks with me at the bar yesterday. Your week was amazing. Okay.
Damn.
Yeah, I would say anytime I get to chill with friends and family.
Dang. Your boy Luca was drinking out of a cup like a big boy.
Yeah, he did.
He's drinking out of the cup?
All right, so we were sitting there and Luca, he drinks out of water. He tries to drink out of water bottles. He doesn't get the idea. Like, you can use half your lips. He just mouth all the way open trying to drink the water, and he ends up backwashing a lot. So
that's how you do the water fountains. You're supposed to put your mouth all the way around it.
So Bucho gave him the cup.
What show was that?
I don't know.
Parks and Recreation.
Parks the whole fucking thing.
Disgusting, bro.
They put the guard on it.
You know the water fountain, like the hook thing that be.
He puts the whole thing in his mouth. It's just disgusting.
Yeah, he wraps the whole shit in his mouth. The whole thing.
It's not him. It's the town
It's
has
the
a
whole
problem.
town.
It's the whole town.
The whole town. Which is like, once one person drinks on that shit, the shit is now disgusting. And people are just walking up to fountains in the parks and just wrapping their whole mouths. That's just crazy to me.
So Luca drinks out of this cup.
Tell me y'all knew somebody that did that. I knew somebody that did that
I didn't
in
know.
Lake Worth. Yeah.
Disgusting.
Middle school, elementary school. Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Mm-mm.
So Luca grabs his cup of water, right? Pucho's an assistant because he's like, "Why are you giving him the straw?" I'm like, so he doesn't spill it. And like he likes, I want him to learn how to drink shit from the straw. It's like you got to suck up the water to drink or whatever. You're doing it. Da 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 da. All right, whatever. So he gave him the top. This man waterboards himself. He he puts his mouth on the thing, and then he sticks his whole fucking nose into the cup. He comes up like. And then he goes back again and do it again. I'm like, Luca, that's not, okay. And then, then he started getting the hang of it. I was like, it's pretty cool. You watch a kid learn. You watch a human learn something. You know what I mean?
He was like fucking bobbing for apples. He was dunking his whole face into this cup.
It's funny though, man.
Waterboarding himself.
But he was coming up like this. Like he was drinking that shit though.
Pull with him, man. Like and him just watching him learn things is always it's something awesome just to watch, right? Like we learn shit every day, but it's just like, all right, whatever. But when a child learns basic controls, it's just like it's funny. Like some people, I don't know, some people don't really like it, but whatever. Anyways, I told Pucho, I give him the straw so he doesn't spill. And what happens, my nigga? This man Luca grabs the cup and spills it all over his father. Pants is drenched. My shoes are drenched. And Pucho's like, man, you just wasn't paying attention.
That's a fact.
Bitch, okay. You're giving him a
Tony's
cup.
telling this story so wrong. Okay, the story is this. Tony underestimated his son's ability. And he said, nah, my son isn't able to drink out of a cup. And me being a good uncle, I'm like, bro, we got to believe in our kids, all right? We got to try to make them better people. We got to help them overcome. And so he was like, I just don't want him to spill water on himself. I'm like, bro, to make an omelet, you got to break some eggs, all right? He's gonna drop some water on himself, but he's going to learn how to drink out of a cup. And then what was he doing? He was drinking out of the cup. Now, Tony's now trying to twitch that the spillage is because I wanted him to drink out of the cup. The fact is, he just put the cup down, and then he just started talking to someone else, and then the baby grabbed it and then just dunked the whole water. And this is 30 minutes after he started drinking. It wasn't like he started drinking out of the cup and then guess what happened? Like if it was like 1 minute in, I would take some blame. But it was a half hour later. Like we ate food. We're getting ready to leave.
Tony, the solution to this is you take some super glue with you anywhere you go and you glue that cup to the table. so he can't spill it on himself. This is a dad tip for you right there.
So I'm just gonna have super glue cups everywhere in Palm Beach County. That's crazy.
Damaging property.
Could be on that subreddit, shitty life pro tips. They're life pro tips, so they're not very good.
And it's funny too because like Pucho and all these guys, or even you guys said, like, I have this aura, right? Where people just come up to me or whatever. Luca had this aura himself as well. Some guy out of the bar came, he was like, man, beautiful kid. I want to buy him chicken wings. I want to buy him fries. I want to buy all of you shots. He never bought the fucking shots, by the way.
Never bought the shots.
Did he buy the chicken and wings?
But he bought the food for Luca, right?
I got 2 chicken fingers and fries for Luca.
And I was like, damn, I appreciate him. He's like, yeah, you know, and then he explains why he having a good day. You know, he had his kids and you know, he doesn't see them, but he saw Luca. He was just happy. I'm like, damn, that's fire, bro. I respect it. And I'm thinking to myself, like, damn, did I bring this aura or did Luca bring the aura? Then the bar lady came up. Oh, he's so cute. Look at his eyes. I'm like, damn, my son has the aura. He has the power. And it might be because, you know, he has fair skin and light colored eyes and just, you know, we're a bunch of brown, dark people. You know what I mean? He just shines out. But I don't know, man.
I think he's a baby at a bar, Tony. I think
people bring babies at bars all the time.
The one guy buying food, that guy was so drunk out of his fucking mind. He looked like he was gonna have alcohol poisoning that night. Like, you just seen he's hobbled his way in and out of the bar like 30 times. I'm like, what is this guy doing?
He was having a good day, man.
Yeah, he was having a great day, apparently.
Tony, you want to maximize that nonsense? Get Luca a little suit next time you take him to the bar. Have him in a nice little suit with a bow tie and everything.
I was gonna say dress him up as the Pope for Halloween, and he'll really have the aura.
That's beast. I'll be fire though, but I'll be
Halloween.
Beast. Dressed as the Pope, the scariest thing you can imagine. The Pope.
Pope Luca.
And I make his like stroller the fucking vehicle that he drives in, the Pope with the glass. Fucking, that's wild.
The Pope mobile.
Butch, what if we dress him up as the Pope from Preacher?
I don't think that would be good.
You know what?
You put a little blood stain on the front where he crushed the last living descendant of Jesus.
That's fucking.
It's a fucked up comic.
Y'all putting that shit on my child. That's disrespect. Other than that, what did I do? It was a chill weekend. No, yeah, I didn't really do much, man. Just being a dad.
Oh, I've got 2 things to shout out. I've been watching this YouTube channel, How to Drink, all week, and it's phenomenal. Like, the dude just makes a bunch of cocktails. He teaches you like how you kind of get to see how his brain goes through like processing how he works out like new cocktail recipes. It's pretty cool. He does a lot of video game stuff, so he's made like the drinks from like Fallout and the drinks from Breath of the Wild. He's done a bunch of stuff like that. It's pretty cool. He's the man is very skilled. He's got a very creative brain. I watched one where he made 42 variations of a Manhattan. He had 7 different kinds of whiskey, 6 different kinds of vermouth, and he was sloshed by the end of it because he failed to account for he's going to take a taste of each of these. He made 42 of them. Even if your taste is just half an ounce, that's 21 ounces of alcohol by the time you get through 42 of these cocktails.
That's terrible.
What's the name of it again?
How to
That's
Drink.
pretty awesome.
I'm gonna check it out. That shit seems fire.
He's pretty entertaining. He's good. The other thing I've been listening to though is this podcast called Dungeons and Daddies, and it's a D&D podcast about these 4 dads that get transported from our world over to the Forgotten Realms, to the D&D world basically, and they're looking for their sons. The cool thing about it, it's fucking hilarious, but it's hilarious because their cast is amazing. The dungeon master, who calls himself the Daddy Master, is Anthony Birch.
Oh wow, that's cool.
And good. You know, the man is clever. He's quick-witted, so like the interactions are fucking hilarious.
He's a writer, if I'm not correct, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he wrote all the story for Borderlands 2.
Cool.
So he's good. The cast is amazing. They have like the traditional stay-at-home sports dad. They have this granola crunchy hippie dad, and one that's like he's like was in a band back in like the 70s or 80s or something, and he's like the cool like rock and roll dad, and then one that's just a fucking mess. He's like the stepdad, and he's played by this chick Beth on the show, and he's fucking hilarious. Her brain is so weird, and she says the weirdest shit, but her character's supposed to be a weirdo, so it just all kind of works out. Great stuff.
And this is a podcast, like
yeah, they
is
just
it like
play
those podcasts where they're acting, or are they just playing D&D?
both. Like there's no script, but they're all really good at improv and bouncing off of each other. So it's pretty damn funny.
Shit.
But yeah, so big shout out to Dungeons and Daddies and How to Drink. They've been filling up my silence in my apartment this week.
We should try that out. That'd be a lot of fun.
Doing D&D
Yeah.
could be fun.
As long as
Dungeon Master.
as long as some way I'm the CEO of that game, I'll be fine.
I'm really gonna get into the role playing wherever I am.
Why does it seem like you're talking so sexual right now?
He's definitely talking sexual.
What
He's gonna
the
get
fuck,
real weird
bro?
with it.
He's gonna be some kind of dick devil or some shit like.
A welder of the ring.
Oh no, he's gonna be the one that made the Elden cock ring.
Yep.
This man learns nothing. Did you learn nothing
Save
in
us.
school, Doughboy? Yo, Pooch. Why I mentioned school, bring us into that first topic of the night, man.
Oh, word. All right. Here's the question. All right. I'm sure we all seen it. The story made the rounds. All right. Teacher gets fired for having an OnlyFans. The question is that right? Is having an OnlyFans a fireable offense? And then maybe more generally, are there some professions that bar you from other professions? Like, could you think of having one job that stops you from being able to, do business in another job? But
Well,
That's wild. That is a wild. That second part that's an interesting little like add on to it, because like there are, right? Like I've got non-compete shit written into my job, right? Like I can't go work for another competing company that does the same kind of shit as us. I definitely couldn't do both simultaneously, right?
Yep.
So like I don't think there's anything too crazy about that.
Right.
But I don't know, like, there's people on like X Video and like the porn sites, right? That they just upload their own shit, right? Like they just have them and their wives or their partners or whatever. They just put their own shit up there. Is that something you could be fired for? Is the difference that she's making money off of one?
I think it's fucked up. I don't think you should lose your job. Like there's some jobs that you can't do, right? Like you can't be a cop and be a drug dealer. You know what I mean? You really can't do both. Like
I don't know. It might actually help you to do both.
Unless you're undercover. No, it's different. You know what I mean? But I'm saying like you can't. There's some jobs I can see that, but bro, she's a teacher. They already underpaid as fuck, right?
Wait, can I just talk? Imagine moonlighting, a criminal moonlighting as a cop, trying to derive all the traffic to the other people. No, let's not look over there. Let's look over here.
You kick in the door to an entire warehouse full of people like chopping up coke, and you're yelling back to your buddies, "Nothing in here. This one's clear.
This is my spot." But nah, I think it's kind of fucked up, right? Because it's like that's her own time. You know what I mean? It has nothing to do with her job. First off, somebody had seen it, one of the parents, and snitched on her. Fucking a hater, pretty much snitched on her, right? Like, bro, I don't see nothing wrong with a teacher wanting to do OnlyFans. I don't see nothing wrong with it. Like, guy or girl, whatever, it doesn't fucking matter, right? Go back to school, like what? Because she has an OnlyFans, it's a problem. Half those teachers watches porn. I can almost guarantee half of them watch porn. Should you lose your job because you watch porn? Oh no, I'm not making money off of it, or I'm not exposing myself. Who cares? If she had a mask on or something, like you would never know who she is, right? Like, why does it matter? Why did this school board want to fire this chick?
If you were watching porn at work,
That's different. Like you should, if you're in a school district, you shouldn't be watching porn at work. You probably shouldn't be watching porn at work in general, but especially not from a school computer connected to the school network from the school district. Right?
You get flagged so fucking quick.
I'd say even like you probably shouldn't be doing anything
sexual,
like even watching a fucking YouTube video if you're supposed to be working. Like obviously some people have jobs where they could throw a YouTube video up and keep working, but like if you're stopping doing your job to look at something, I don't know. You're doing something wrong, I think.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think she should have got fired for sure.
I agree though. I agree with Tony. Like I don't think you should get fired for what you choose to do in your bedroom or what you choose to do with your hobbies to some degree though, right?
Because I was about to ask a crazy
because
question.
Let's say you're a teacher, right? And you had like a podcast, right? That's fine. I don't think that would be an issue. Let's say your podcast though was about the racial superiority of white people and like all kinds of crazy hateful shit.
Content
you should probably
matters.
lose your fucking job, right?
Content matters then for pretty much in what's going on in the city. So if she's on OnlyFans acting like a school teacher and getting seduced by or seducing a young student, that would be an alarming thing to get fired.
We did Google this teacher before the podcast, and I do feel a little weird about her new tagline that apparently she has for her OnlyFans. It says, "Tired of hiding my freak side, come see what I know many students wish they could." And something about that does not, I don't like that.
How did she spell cum? Because that tells you everything.
It is COME. It is not CUM.
That's the key. What grade was she teaching before she got fired?
I think it was like middle school, maybe high school.
Perfect. All those kids would have bought an OnlyFans account quick.
Facts.
For sure.
Those kids probably had bought OnlyFans accounts. You know how easy it is to get a credit card now? You can just get one of those prepaid ones and done. Yeah. What are they going to do? You just have to click that. Yes, I'm 18. We did that shit when we were in high school.
Bucks.
So yeah, part of me. So all right, I think it's fucked up that she got fired. All right, just to be completely clear. But I feel like there are some jobs that I'd be a little bit uncomfortable. Like I would wonder, like, is the type of person that does this thing the type of person that should be influencing our children? I don't know. I don't know. Something about it. I don't know. It weirds me out a little bit. But to I guess to Mateo's point, right? What happens if? Because I feel uncomfortable with Mateo said a little bit. Like because you guys are like, all right, on your personal time you can do whatever you want, but you know it shouldn't affect your employment. But if you get spotted at a Klan rally, like fired on the spot, like. While I certainly don't like that Klansman, something about that just feels it makes me uncomfortable because like I wonder like who are the people deciding what are the things that are bad? Like,
I think it depends on the job that you're being fired from. A teacher is in theory shaping the futures of kids, right? We don't need any fucking KKK sympathizers or anything there. Like that's not ideal. Your CEO gets spotted at a Klan rally. That one's iffy. They would probably get fired. Social media would probably go after them. They would probably get their ass fired, right? Whether they should or shouldn't, I don't know. I think that when you're in a management position in a company, you probably should not be a racist. Like that's probably the best route going forward.
That's right. That's like the minimum bar.
Like, yeah, like there's some bare minimums, and like not being racist is probably one of them when you're like the fucking leader of an entire goddamn company.
Yeah, the CEO example is also kind of weird because like part of their job is to be
the face of the company.
Front face of an entire organization. So it's like if the whole face of the organization has a fucking swastika tattooed on their face, it's like probably not the guy that we want to be leading our organization anymore. You know what I mean?
If we were to find out that Doey was a furry, right? Let's say that we found out Doey was participating in furry sex parties. Should he lose his job? Probably not, a furry. Right? Well, maybe he is, but should he lose his job? Probably fucking not, right? Like because who the fuck cares what he does in his bedroom?
Right.
Should I be made fun of though?
Yeah, for sure.
Depends on what your costume is. Is your costume real cool or is it real shitty?
You gonna kink shame me?
Is it like one of those is it just like a Walmart Sonic the Hedgehog costume and that's your furry costume?
That's terrible. I would definitely fire him if I was me.
He's got that plastic mask that it hurts to put your tongue through, but you can't stop yourself from trying to put your tongue through it.
But still, the idea of like society like firing people, and even when I say society, it feels weird because like I don't even know how much of society it really is. Like I kind of have the inkling that it's really just a vocal minority. But I feel like it'd be shitty. Like, I think if people were like at a Klan, if someone was at a Klan rally and they got fired, there'll be some collection of people that'll be up in arms about it. Like, I personally wouldn't give a fuck that much, but there's something about it that does make me feel a little uncomfortable. But like, the whole thing would be flipped if it were like some teacher that attended like a BLM rally, right? And gets fired. Like, people would be up in arms about it. And I don't know, I'm just saying, like, it feels uncomfortable. It's like, who's deciding the things? So just to be clear, I don't think someone who goes to BLM rally should be fired from being a teacher, right? But I'm saying, like, what if society had made that decision? Like, that'd be like a shitty predicament, you know?
There are school districts that in certain states and areas that would probably push for a teacher to be fired if they attended a BLM rally. Or if they were part of like the BLM organization. Or like there's probably some areas where that would not be a completely ridiculous flip on this question, right?
No. Anyhow, I'm not trying to slippery slope anybody, but it's just I don't know. It's just an aspect of like the same rules that we use to like silence people that maybe right now we think should be silenced could potentially be used to silence people that we think shouldn't be silenced.
I mean, to be fair, although I do tend to side on on a lot of the ACAB talking points, right? I think that if there were a teacher in like a high school that was going up there writing ACAB on the fucking blackboard and then giving like a 4-hour like diatribe about like how terrible cops are to like kids, it might not be the most productive thing to give to a bunch of, you know, teenagers that don't really understand the intricacies and like a lot of the complicated nature of that kind of discussion. So that teacher should maybe not be able to do that anymore.
Yeah. And I do like your caveat of like, for certain professions, you know, like should the fucking bagger at the local Key Food get canned for attending Klan rallies? Like, probably not. But like, yeah, a teacher, CEO.
I think the interesting thing about this conversation though is that teachers are not one of our super well paid professions in this country, right? But they have some of the most scrutiny that you could ever get for that fucking $30K a year. Like you have to be an upstanding member of society. You have a lot of responsibility on you. So it's kind of fucked up that this teacher wants to make a little bit extra money on the side.
Yeah,
and we're like, no, you can't do it. You're showing your titties. Unacceptable.
Shit is wild too. It's like why? Like, why not? Like, give me more money, then I wouldn't have to go to OnlyFans. I wouldn't have to go this route. You know what I mean? Like, and then I want to know who snitched on her. That's what I want to know.
I bet she wants to know that too.
Because I don't think it was a guy. I can tell you that much. It had to be a woman who caught her man looking at her OnlyFans. She was tight. And then that shit went straight to the school board because it doesn't make sense. As sexist as that might seem right now, a dude is not reporting that teacher.
You know what that guy told his wife? He told her that he was just doing research. Like, he heard a rumor. He had to go check it out and go and subscribe to a bunch of OnlyFans profiles.
He got bagged because he used her card to do it. That's how he got bagged.
I mean, you're talking about middle school, high school kids, right? Like, the likelihood is one kid in the class found this shit and started telling some of the boys in the class, and then those boys told more boys, and then some of those boys told girls, and then this shit just spread so much that it's like the likelihood of it coming out is just astronomical. Like,
I've got an alternate scenario. That teacher told another teacher. She was tight with another teacher there at the school. That teacher knew that the second you tell someone else a secret like that, it gets out. And especially in schools, kids know way more about their teachers' fucking private lives than they ever should. I know when I was in high school, there was a married couple that they both taught. One taught biology and one taught something else, and everyone knew that they were having marriage problems. Every fucking student knew, and some of them knew some very intimate details about the nature of their marriage problems. Like there was a serious problem with those teachers like separating their lives from their students, and I think that shit still goes on. So I think it was one teacher knew, and then from her knowing, a student ended up hearing a conversation, and that's how that shit got out.
That's interesting that you say that, because I had a biology teacher in high school, and I knew a lot of shit was. The person was trying to have a kid but couldn't because their partner couldn't produce what it needs to have a kid, right? So I'm like fucking a junior, I guess, and she's just telling me all this information, like, and I'm in the back of my head as a kid, I'm like, man, I'll give you the tools you need, right? Like the little fucking boy in you, right? Like little pervert in you. She look good, you know what I mean? But it's just like you say it now, and it's like, bro, that shit's been going on for ages. Like some of these teachers put a lot of faith and give these kids information about their personal fucking lives. Like, you got to definitely separate that shit as a teacher. You can't, because then you go to these little 14-year-old kids, your private life. Like, that shit's beast. Like, you need therapy at that point.
One time, a teacher of mine got caught out drinking, and she was at a bar drinking with friends. Yo, by the time that rumor was over with, bro, she was taking her shirt off. She was taking shots. Yeah, it was all sorts of shit. Yeah. So once rumors spread, it sucks for teachers, because I know one teacher even had cancer in New York, and fucking the kids were ruthless.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Goddamn.
Ruthless, bro. This is a terrible situation, but yeah.
I mean, even kids are bullies to teachers. Remember?
Yeah.
Lizard Neck Mills, though, in the fucking Lake Worth Middle?
Yeah.
This man would never want us in his class.
Do you remember when they separated us?
Yeah.
We couldn't be in the same class together.
They made us change classes. We used to just tag team with the teacher all the time. That shit is mad disrespectful. These teachers are making like $30-something thousand a year, and then you got these two fucking kids coming in there disrespecting the shit out of them. The man used to get so fucking mad when he sees us walking in the class. He used to get so mad because fuck, they're both here together. Like, like, how do you explain yourself to another teacher? Like, yo, I need to separate these guys. I can't control them. I'm an adult and I can't control these two kids. They're bullying me. Like, that's shitty too. Beast.
Like, really think about that. Like, imagine somebody went to your job and the whole time that you were just trying to work, so people were just whispering like negativity towards you. You piece of shit. Oh, you dropped that fucking wrench, you're a fucking idiot. Look at this stupid motherfucker.
Look at him typing. He's typing with 2 fingers. What a loser.
Look at this fat bitch just sitting there. Look at her, just sitting. Just like, oh my God. Like, you would hate that shit. So, like, I don't know. It's kind of shitty.
That would make me get an OnlyFans.
People were going to work, trying to pay their bills, feed their family, and we out here going to class and just fucking shitting on these teachers. Like, it's fucked up.
It's super fucked up.
He wrote to the office. I went to the office once. He wrote that I'm toxic situation for the classroom. I'm very toxic. That I contaminate other people. Like, I contaminate the whole room.
You contaminated me. Yeah, no, Doe was the reason why I got in trouble most of the time. Because I was just, like, Doe would just, like, start it, and then me being loud, right? Because I was the loud one in the class. I projected what Doe fucking started, and then I got roped in because at that point it was too late. I couldn't stop because the shit was just be funny. But, you know what? That brings another good story too. Like as a teacher, I would definitely quit and go be an OnlyFans. If I can make more money instead of having to deal with fucking kids like Doughboy and I, like, yeah, fuck these kids. Fuck them. I don't
think you go quit being a teacher and make more money on OnlyFans.
She's doing it. I'm saying me, yeah. I don't think I like as a maybe it might be harder for a dude to be.
What
an
would you
OnlyFans.
do to bring the dollars in?
He sell pictures of his hairy feet.
Damn.
People are into that shit.
That's a market. That's an untapped market right there.
That's
The hairy feet.
market. Big ass hairy feet.
Gigantic ass hairy feet.
He'd set a goal. At that goal, he's gonna clip his toenails on cam live.
Think I shave half my foot or some shit for them and send the hair follicles out to whoever pays the most. That's crazy.
I don't want to send my hair to anyone.
If they pay you enough, you would.
I got a lot of hair. Y'all can have it if y'all want it.
Gonna make a bunch of shitty doughy clones.
That'd be terrible. Imagine that. A bunch of little minions walking around. But no, yeah, I think it.
I picture like those real shitty clones from like South Park. The little like the defective ones.
They were fucking deformed. They were fucked.
Terrible. Yeah, no, that school board's fucked. Like, they failed that teacher.
I think it's a fucked up decision. We don't want our teachers making OnlyFans and pay them more.
Facts.
I think that's the solution there.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and if her husband's willing to do this OnlyFans or her partner's willing to do this OnlyFans together as a couple, why not? Let them. It's their, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, but you know, whatever choice is whatever decision is like some type of reaction or some shit like that to their problems. Like, I don't know. I hope everything works out for her. I hope she's still making that $25K a month. Racking it in.
You don't got to make $25K a month for too long to set up yourself a nice little nest egg and do some investments, man.
Facts. No, fuck it. But for
Hold
our
on.
next,
Can I
ahead.
say, because I didn't really say how I felt. I feel like this country has an issue with sex, like very taboo, and I think we need to take a lesson from a lot of the LGBTQ people. I think sex is less taboo in their world, and I think we need to maybe not view it as so icky and like, oh my God, she reveals her tits on the internet. And that shouldn't be shocking to me anymore. I don't think sex work is shocking. You selling your pussy or somebody slanging some dick. If I knew right now somewhere where, well, I don't think so. It's because I don't think I could just do anybody.
He's like, wait, what would be my clientele? Okay,
Yeah.
no. I'm not fucking people for money.
I was thinking maybe like a glory hole, but I was like, nah, I wouldn't do that either.
You
Glory hole's
Anyways.
the epitome of ignorance is bliss. You're just like, I'm gonna put my dick in this thing,
And something's
whatever
gonna happen.
happens, like whatever. I don't even want to know. I just want to know it felt good.
The glory hole is for people that just really like to be surprised
That's crazy. You know what?
on both sides.
Yeah. That is wild because what happened if you just get a psycho and you just stick that shit in there and they're ready to bop at your shit? Like,
Come on, bro. What is this?
these are
Part
chances
of
you're
the thrill.
taking. Yeah, it's the
of the
thrill.
thrill.
Like, oh,
There is a non-0% chance that could happen.
like Doe doesn't want to stick his dick in a glory hole. Now
That's
he's nervous.
scary.
But it's
be
it's a rush though. Like at any moment before
Do
I
you
come.
use a condom at a glory hole, or is like, I mean, you're already like just gonna let any random person like do whatever to your penis. So at this point, you're like, fuck it, no condom. We're going.
You probably
all
should
out.
wear a condom. You should
I don't
probably.
know. I don't think that would. Your head would feel good with a condom on. I've never gotten head and had a condom on.
Me neither, but I know that's how the sex workers do it, right?
If you're having sex with randos, you should probably wear a condom while you're getting head.
Yeah, randos for sure. Yeah.
Unless it's a glory hole in the privacy of your own home and you know who's on the other side of
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Yes, every time.
Imagine having a huge house party and you got everybody there and you be like, yo, there's a glory hole there, guys. Anyone's free to go over there and use it. And you don't know who's on the other side. Guy, girl, don't matter.
I feel like I would probably leave that party. The snacks better be really good for me to stay at that party after the guy reveals there's a glory hole that's free to use.
Mateo's canceling the second party invite. The second time he gets invited, he's like, I'm going to
pre-canceling.
Yo, it has to be the person who reveals it. They have to be the person behind there. They're like, oh yeah, this great head, just the most amazing head.
Well,
Can
he's
you
wiping his
imagine?
mouth.
Hey, there's a glory hole over there. It's free to use. Just, head over there any moment. And then as soon as they see somebody walking in the direction, they'll be like, oh, did I just hear the Pop-Tarts come out the oven? They go to run over on the other side of the wall.
That's a beast. Oh, fuck.
All right, take it away.
Yeah. That was a good little cut, though. Relationships. This nation is a very progressive nation, right? Especially when it comes into relationships. Like, people, and what I mean by that is like, why in relationships why does it default to the traditional ways? Like, the man takes charge of stuff, the man makes sure the house is good. Even with us in this nation being progressive, and couples saying, yo, 50-50, we both put in our shares or whatever, some way, somehow, it defaults to the old traditional ways. Is that something that we can never let go? Because it's just engraved in it. And everybody, even newer age couples, like they you know what I mean? Like, some way, somehow, it defaults back to the old ways. That's something that we just can't get rid of? Is it like the man thing, like a sexist type thing? Like, what is it? Like, why can't it not get rid of it? Why we cannot get rid of the old tradition and move forward?
I was waiting on you, Pooch. You said you had a response to it.
No, well, I kind of disagree with the question. So I don't think that. I mean, probably in most couples, I would say that we tend to default to like tradition, but I don't think all couples are like that. Shit, I cook dinner half of the days of the week. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, that in and of itself is like, oh, the man's not supposed to cook, Like, you know what I'm saying?
I don't think I've ever been in a traditional relationship. I've lived alone a very, very long time. So I cook, I clean, I do all the things. I've never been in a relationship where like my partner was unemployed for any significant amount of time and I was the only breadwinner or anything like that. I have tended to typically date people that are not making, the same amount of money as me, but I don't know if that counts or not, but yeah, I don't think I've been in a lot of traditional relationships. I've been in relationships that have some aspects of traditional relationships though, like a partner that prefers to cook. So like I'm cooking 3 of the meals a week rather than like all the meals of the week or something like that,
It'll be a lot harder for you, especially because you are single and you've been living on your own. So obviously anybody, male or female or whatever, has to provide for themselves, whether it's cooking or they go out and get their own meals or whatever. They got to wash their own clothes and shit. But like somebody like in a relationship, like I've been in a relationship for a long ass time. So it's just like, so has Pucho. Certain shit gets, like duties or whatever gets just thrown out. So it's just, sometime in the progressive state, like, like Pucho, he cooks 3 times or 4 times a week. Pucho also loves to cook and make new recipes and shit, right? And it's not like it doesn't work. But Lisi also loves to cook too, his wife and stuff. So
she hates cooking.
She hates cooking.
She makes good food.
She makes great food though.
They claim that the food gets better if there's emotion in it. So she's putting all that hate of cooking into that food.
Shout out to Lisi's breakfast sandwiches, my nigga. She makes the best breakfast sandwiches.
Shout out to those fucking plantains,
I put love
man.
into my food. She puts hate into the food, and either way, the emotion is infused in the meal.
That's crazy.
That's fire. That's a way to spin a positive. Okay, Mateo.
Good shit, Mateo. That's
Her
crazy.
food is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
She fucking hates cooking. She's tired of it.
You guys made burritos. The one night I was there, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, they made burritos. I never had their burritos.
The best thing is that Doey probably made his own burrito.
I made it myself. Yeah.
What the fuck?
We just made a bunch of ingredients.
Oh, okay. So he put it. Oh, I got it. I was like, all right. That makes sense.
I just thought it was funny.
But no, yeah, like, I guess it's just like people find a way to default. Like, I've noticed that. Like, it's not just in my relationship, but in other people's relationship. I just, like, they both make almost the same amount, but it's like, hey, you doing this and I'm doing this. Or the guy, what?
I feel like we default to what we know, right? And I feel like at our core, what do we know about relationships? And I think that's what we try to, when you say it always goes back, I think when you do that, you're just defaulting to what you know and the structures that you know of that
you
work.
Grew up with.
Yeah, that kind of work. I think relationships are kind of hard. I don't think that old Eurocentric vision of marriage is really gonna be around for much longer. I think, you know what I mean? Like, I think just two people saying that they want to be with each other is enough. But I think I would like personally to have a traditional relationship.
I was gonna say you are probably the most traditional out of anyone on the podcast, which has always surprised me. With some of the other things you said, it's always kind of surprised me that you're the most traditional. Which you're also fairly progressive. So I am curious, like, how do you bring those two together in your mind, in your life, in practice?
I've only dated people who are like traditionalists. I haven't met somebody that is outside of what I would do normally in a relationship. So I have yet to, maybe I find, maybe I'm poly-do,
That's in my next intro, aka poly-do.
Poly-do. Okay. Yeah, I don't think we're talking about polyamorous stuff. We're just...
It always goes back to some sexual shit.
No, like even though there are some things that we just default to though, like if there were, say, a lot of heavy rocks that just needed to get lifted, my wife is just like, yeah, this is Pucho's doing this one.
That's Pucho's job.
That's a Pucho job.
That's you know what's funny though too? Like, I could see Lacey saying that, but then, like, let's say I'm there and be like, oh, and I just hit Lacey with like a little attack, like, oh, I thought you were strong. She might be like, you know what? Yeah, I'll fucking do it. I'm gonna show you. Like, she'll prove like I can do it just as well. You know what I mean? Like, people, like, even though, like Pucho said, like, if someone just hits that button, like, yo, I thought you're not independent or whatever, they'll do it just to prove you wrong. But it's a natural default. Like Pucho said, he can do that. Like, who takes
she's gonna run outside and lift the rock to show you that she could do it and still go, but Pucho, this is still for you. You gotta go lift those rocks.
Oh no, you gotta do them all. Do them all just to prove me wrong. But yeah. No, it is a default. And there's nothing wrong with it, right? If some relationship works, there's nothing wrong with it. But even people who are progressive, it's just like, ask yourself, right? Anybody who's watching the show right now, you're in a relationship. Who's the breadwinner? Are you both breadwinners? And what duties are split? Because you know what duties are split. Is it the woman doing the dishes and the man's cooking the food, or vice versa? Who's throwing out the trash? Who's doing the yard work? You know what I'm saying? Like, ask yourself that. So whoever's listening and you can see, like, yeah, we're progressive, but you're doing all the non-progressive things, like how it was. You know what I mean? So it's just weird.
I've got some general, like, rules in my little household, right? Like, if someone cooks, you should probably wash the dishes, right? Doesn't matter who cooks, the other person should probably wash the dishes. That's always like the considerate
super
thing.
Fair, yeah.
For me,
I fucking hate washing dishes.
I fucking hate it. Me too, man. Hand washing dishes is my least favorite thing in the world.
Put it in the fucking dishwasher. That's why it's there.
Oh, you're one of those people?
Yeah, I use technology, Tony.
No, All right. How do you? All right. So do you do a pre-wash before you put the dishes in the
Let
dishwasher?
Mateo go down his
Yeah,
list.
go ahead.
There's a pre-rinse for sure, Tony. But
You have to
Because
pre-rinse.
there's some
Always
people who
pre-rinse.
don't. There's people that don't believe in pre-rinse.
but yeah, laundry in my so my relationships have been longer term, and we've shared a residence. Have tended to be whoever's doing laundry. If you're doing laundry, toss in some of my clothes. If I'm doing laundry, I'll toss in some of your clothes. Like that seems to be the even way to do it. Let's try to get 50-50 mix of my clothes and your clothes in that washer. Unless you got some special requirements with your laundry. Like I know some people that actually sort by colors and whites and things like that. I don't do that. All my laundry goes in one pile, boom, into the washer.
You mix your colors with the whites?
100%, dude.
Damn, that just sounded so bad how I said that. Clothing wise, but yeah, like why? All right, so who invented that shit, right? Because I mean, is it just like not mixing the white with the colored shirts? Like who, like who the fuck said that this is a rule? I mean, there is reasoning why, right? But who came up with this shit? Because why can't a black shirt and a white shirt not be washed at the same time? Because you want to
at the same time all the time.
Does it fade
I
faster or something?
I think there's two reasons. One, I think, and maybe it's not even the case today as much, but maybe it's just something that used to happen a lot. But like, if you wash this blue shirt, some amount of the blue dye is gonna wash out of that shirt. If that then goes on a white shirt, then you're gonna stain that white shirt slightly blue. Like, obviously, it may take many washes for something like that to happen. But for sure, if you threw like a fresh pair of denim jeans in the washing machine with a white shirt, that shit's coming out blue.
Is Joey's shirt today so white that if he threw it in with some black pants, it would actually make the pants gray instead of making the shirt
It's a possibility.
Yeah. Then the other reason is I don't do this anymore. But back in the day, my mom, we used to use a bleach when we used to like wash our clothes. Wait, is it bleach? We have some
on
Clorox.
the whites.
That's bleach, right?
Yeah.
You would throw like Clorox in the washing machine to stain all that white shirt. It's like whiter again. You know what I mean? If you threw fucking bleach on a colored shirt, it'll turn it like pink or purple or something.
So it destroy.
Now, I will admit, I'm a laundry idiot. There's a lot of settings on my washer and my dryer that I don't know what the hell those are for. Like, what is that press one that's on the dryer? I don't know what that is. I've never used it. I don't know what that press setting is for.
So the press, if I'm not mistaken, is like ironing your shirt. It'll leave it wrinkleless, or wrinkle free, and then you'll be able to just take it out and hang it. If I'm not mistaken, but no,
what is the point of the tumble setting where it does no heat and it just tumbles your clothes? When do you use that? Don't know.
You use that when you're like, yo, I'm gonna be doing some things, and I might not be able to get back to my dryer in the right when the load is done. So you'll set the tumble setting so that it could still kind of spin your clothes for a half hour. Because if the clothes stop and settle, they'll start to get wrinkled up. I think that's the intent of that. It's like it's a wrinkle prevention.
Interesting. Learning things every day.
Facts, bro. Yeah, it's like that shit's, and also too, fabric softener and all this shit. Like for color clothes, you want those like certain soaps, I guess, that keeps the color. Like they got like a black tea soap that keeps the black tea black, like it doesn't fade too. So I mean, yeah, it's weird. But back to the maybe that's why, not sexist, maybe that's why some females are better at washing clothes than men, because we don't give a fuck. We just throw shit in there, right? Like Mateo, I don't separate shit. I just all chuck them in there.
Everything in one pile.
I recently got Tide Pods, and I totally get it why those people were biting into them. Those things are tasty as fuck.
You bit into it?
No.
You bit into it?
No.
He licked it a little bit.
I wanted to.
You sniffed it though, right?
I definitely sniffed it.
You put it a little close to your mouth, like I could eat this.
Mm-hmm. And
I watched someone eat that shit. It looked like he started breathing fire. Like that shit does not look good to eat. Like it looks like it'll fuck you up.
And it's crazy because they say one of those pods or those Tide Pods do the whole load. I used to dump 2 in the bitches in my clothing. Like I'll just throw 2 just to make sure that everything gets enough soap. But
No, it tells you on the bag now. 1 for like a regular load, 2 for a larger load, and 3 for a really big load. A heavy load.
This guy's sick.
I've definitely put too much soap into a washer before and had like bubbles flood my little like washing area.
Also,
you know why we default to fucking rules, okay? Is when I put too much soap in the fucking mop, okay? And then your floor is all like, you're sticking all over the floor. Once it starts, you'd be like, oh, the house smells good. The mop was so wonderful. Everything was good. And then once the floor starts to dry, you start stepping on it and you're sticking to the floor. Then you got to go back with just fresh water to like wash more soap away. And it's like, all right, maybe I'm not built for this mopping game. Like, I got to really think about how much Fabuloso to put in this fucking bucket, all right?
it's like
Not since
Go ahead.
you put me onto the O-Cedars. Wow. My life has been changed.
You doubted me too.
What's
You
the
were
OC?
going against
Doubted.
me.
What's that?
Yeah.
What's the OC?
Go ahead,
Cedars?
Pucho.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Pucho.
It's a mop brand. It's a mop bucket thing. Has this weird contraption. It's like a salad spinner for your mop heads.
Oh, okay.
So like you could wet the mop and then you put it in this thing and you step on this I don't know what the fuck, like a foot thing, like, you know, like you open your trash can with it. I feel like an idiot right now. I feel like I'm missing a word from my vocabulary, but you step down on this button or whatever and it spins and all the water comes out of the mop head.
Huh.
But it's just a really good mop. And then you could just you could change out the mop heads. So you could buy replacement mop heads, or you could even throw the mop head in the washer to kind of clean it again. So you could get more uses out of your mop.
Tony, to get us back on track, I think that even in a progressive relationship, people can still end up doing some of those traditional roles. I think the difference is in the progressive relationship, you don't just expect your partner to do whatever. Like there's communication. I think that's all it comes down to. You can do traditional things. Like I was always the one that grilled in a lot of my relationships. But it wasn't just I was expected to grill. It was a conversation of like, hey, do you know how to grill? And the answer was always no. And I was like, well, I can teach you. I can grill. We can do both at the same time. And that's usually what it came down to. I've had some exes that were very interested in learning how to grill. They actually grilled a few things themselves, but you know, it's just a thing comes down to expectation. I think that's where a lot of the traditional stuff comes into. There's these guys just expect like my wife will do the laundry, she will cook, she will clean, she'll rub my feet, she'll when I throw my boots down all dirty, she'll clean them up and make sure they're by the door. They just expect all this shit.
I need a foot rub.
That was the only one that I was really interested in. I was like, man, if I could get some foot rubs around here, I'd be in heaven.
Yo, the whole boot thing though, that I don't know why that feels so old school to me.
That one's
like
super
when I
old
was
school.
a kid, I remember my dad when he used to come into the house, he'd like kick his shoes off, lay in bed, and he'd ask us to take his socks off, and we'd be all excited because you know it's our dad and all this shit. But he's some stinky ass feet. Like it's been in a shoe all day. I gotta take your sock off. Like shit's crazy.
That's disgusting now that I think about it. But yeah.
You experienced this, right, Tom?
Yeah.
My dad was a truck driver. We would take his cowboy boots off every day after he got home, or his big work boots off.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And it's like, my kids might do that for me because that sounds nice. I might be like, yo, take my socks off, yo. Just take them off, all right? Do me that fucking solid, please.
The kid's like, oh, it smells. Yeah, it's okay.
Just I worked all day. You should be happy. Daddy's here. Just take my socks off.
Give me this solid.
$10 a month though, and you can see Tony take his boots off on his OnlyFans anytime you want.
Wow, $10 a month. That's pretty
and if
cheap.
you send a $50 donation, he'll mail the sock to you.
That from that episode or from that show,
episode,
and you'll get that
From that
same
moment.
sock. I'll even give you a signature right on the sock. But no, yeah, I do think it's definitely a communication thing. I agree.
So I think Mateo hit it on the head though. Like I think it does have to do with, like you're saying, the communication. The is this just an expectation, or are we, making a conscious effort to kind of keep our roles a little open? Like, you know what I mean? Like, when me and my wife first got together, she did cook, like as a default thing. Like we didn't really like discuss that too much. It was just something that she just started doing, and then our relationship took off that way. And then over the years, I started cooking more often, and among other things. So yeah, I mean, I don't know.
And also,
I think early on, you're gonna default to just what the people want to do in that relationship. But I think given time and as you guys get closer or whatever, just to make sure like. You keep those options open. You don't want people to feel like they're locked into a role or whatever. But.
Yeah. Also, be supportive if your partner's doing something that they have not done before, but you need help, I guess, with, you know what I mean? Maybe they're cooking dinner. It's not the greatest dinner in the world, but they tried. You got to kind of put an E for effort on there and dug it out.
It's like when the teeth touch the dick, you just got to be happy you're getting a blowjob. You can't just like complain,
I mean, that's the risk of going to the glory hole, man. You don't know what the skill level of the other person on the other side is.
That might be the biggest turn on now. That's why people do that shit probably. It's like, yo, you don't know what you're going to get. And if you get it great, you hope you get it again.
Random braces appeared. You're just like, fuck.
Yikes.
Would you? Go ahead.
I've got a question. Do y'all think that y'all could be stay-at-home dads?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, does my kid go to daycare?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
But would you miss working? I feel like I would not know what to do with myself. I feel like I would burn myself out on video games so quick.
No, because you got to do stuff at the house too, though. So,
and especially like being like like the dedicated caregiver in one of those like traditional kind of relationship. That seems exhausting, man. It seems so exhausting to just have one person that's just like, this is what you do.
I clean a little bit. My wife walks in. The food is done. We're gonna put it on the table. Take her shoes off. Take her socks off. My wife's like, dude, make it happen. Let's do it.
No, yeah.
No. In all actuality, I'm just fucking around. I couldn't do it. I don't like cleaning enough. I hate it way too fucking much to have that as my fucking job. And then, like you said, I burned myself out on TV, movies, video games. Like I would be dead.
I think that being like the stay-at-home person too, like there's so many extra expectations that go along with that you're putting in way more than the 40 hours a week that I would ever put into my job.
I don't know, man. I think I don't know. Me growing up, I was at my mom's dad's house. I was doing the dishes. I was doing the laundry. I was doing the fucking mopping because my sister couldn't do any of that because she was the princess. I couldn't. I had to do everything, right? So, like I like having shit clean, so I don't mind it. Like I like walking into my room and I know if something's been moved or touched because I know where everything needs to be at.
Did you get extra money though because you did all those chores?
What?
No, you didn't get any like extra allowance for doing all the chores. I thought that's how you afforded Sonic 1 through 20.
No, I worked. I actually worked. I was young working at a Christmas tree stand helping my dad, and I used to get tips, and that's how I got my money. But no, yeah, I don't think it'll be a big. I wouldn't mind being a stay-at-home dad. I mean, if the kids are at daycare, that'd be a clutch. But if not, then yeah, you're not gonna have enough time to do certain things like video games or movies or whatever the fuck you want to do. You won't have much time.
The cleaning and the cooking and all that usually goes along with that.
Well, no, yeah, you have to do the cleaning when the kid's sleeping or in his little playpen area until he or she gets tired of it.
It sounds stressful. Props to the stay-at-home moms out there. That shit sounds way more exhausting than anyone actually thinks that it is.
And dads. There's dads out there.
And the stay-at-home dads too, yeah.
No, absolutely. Nobody yells more than a Spanish mother that's been working all day and comes home and you haven't taken out the meat? Wow. You're a piece of shit. And then you try to do
You deserve every bit of that belt, okay?
You know what? You know what? My mom would tell me to take the chicken out to defrost, and then I would get radio silence from her. And there were 20 different kinds of chicken in that freezer, and I didn't know which one she actually wanted defrosted.
Yeah, that sucks too.
Yeah, you pull out the wrong ones. You're like, what an idiot! Why you didn't ask me which one? Like, well, I tried. But no, yeah, that's not bad. Like a lot of people would have problems, like with whoever staying home and not being a breadwinner, even though defaultly it would be the wife or the woman to stay home and be that, the house mom.
Traditionally,
that's yeah. Nowadays, it doesn't matter. Anybody can be, as long as there's communication, like Mateo said earlier, like it can work out.
Yeah, when I achieve premium Jewish status after I go to the rabbi, get my rabbi counsel, get myself a nice Jewish girl, maybe my days of working will be over.
Wait, why?
Because she's rich.
Oh, you're hoping that's a rich girl, okay?
Oh, okay.
She's Jewish, obviously.
So all Jewish people are rich?
A majority.
I wonder if that's true.
I am so curious if that statistic is true. I feel like it's not.
Yeah.
That's a wild claim. But I'm
Joey,
interested.
Is your circumcision going to be on your OnlyFans?
I am not getting circumcised.
What do you mean? You have to.
Never. I'll never get circumcised.
You
My
can't
son,
That's the whole joke here. Why
It's
you going to
not
the
gonna-
rabbi?
You can't join the tribes of Abraham if you're not getting circumcised.
I forgot about that. They're gonna make me get circumcised.
Yeah, hammerheads only,
100%.
bro.
You want to have
They
that rich?
got a big sign out
mind.
front with an anteater on it. It's got an X through it.
No, thank you. I don't think I can do that. I rescind my Jewish nomination.
What an idiot. Hey, dope. Why don't you take us into that next topic? You know, how you like the previous arcade back in the day vibes.
When are we gonna do the read?
Right now, why don't you do the read?
That's what I'm asking you to do.
No, he's not.
That's
Go
what
do
I
it,
asked.
Do it.
Listen, if you've made it this far, we thank you. Shout out to all of our fans. Stephen Beaumont, always commenting, always showing love.
Is that his real name?
Yeah, he actually he told me how to say it, so I'm like trying
Okay.
to rectify my saying of his name.
How'd you say it
Anyway.
last time?
Beaumont.
Oh my God.
Beaumont.
Beaumont.
The
science
guy. No, we're fucking up his name. Sorry.
OG Ron C, thank you to everybody for coming on, liking, subscribing. If you
Shout
haven't
out to
already,
Robert. I was hanging out with Robert yesterday. He said he watches the pod every day.
Damn.
Shout out
Start commenting.
we are. You can listen to us wherever you listen to your podcasts: Google, Apple, Spotify. You can watch us here, our beautiful faces. Please try to share us with your friends and family. This is really important for us. And yeah, thank you for everything you've done.
Who's taking us into the arcades?
Tony, the host.
I guess I'm doing that one. Okay. Arcades, guys. Back in the day, they were a big thing for everybody growing up, especially in NYC. Like, I guess you guys had major arcade stations up there. You guys have any favorite moments that you can remember from playing? I know I have a couple, and because in Florida they had at like some spots the laundromats will have the arcade, so that's where I would play them. I don't know. Never been in New York. I didn't know if they had like a whole building dedicated to it or not, but I remember just waiting in line to play fucking Street Fighter, trying to climb the tower up of the fighter. Mortal Kombat, sorry. And then fucking some dickhead joins and fucking destroys you, and then you got to restart. Like those
were the worst people at the arcade. Those dudes that would just wait for you to get to Goro, and then they'd come toss the quarters in.
the worst. But yeah. So like, Doe, you got any fond memories you want to shoot at us and let us know what arcade was your key arcade? What was your go to?
Both in New York and in Florida. When I was in New York, I started going to arcades that were in Times Square. There was a lot of arcades in Times Square, and it was a part of when Giuliani was in term mayor. He cleaned up the city, and a lot of these XXX booths, a lot of these places, these DVD rental places, a lot of these places that were like stripper places got turned into arcades. And there was one specifically that I remember. It was called Too Much Is Not Enough, and it was in Times Square. And every time I would go there, you know, my mom would want to go with me, or my dad would want to go with me, and I'd always be like, how come you just let me go over there by myself? It's Times Square. And they're like, hell no, you're not going to fucking Times Square by yourself. But what I didn't know was that although Giuliani tried to clean that area up, the area was still like crime ridden. Like, it was not a safe place to go. People would try to solicit people for drugs and sex, and little kids were there in the mix, and it was just not a good. People would get
here comes little Doey with a $20 bill just in his hand, walking down the street,
trying to play arcades.
Got my arcade money, and so yeah, it was nice. I really enjoyed all of the times that I spent in the arcade. I'd always gravitate wherever I lived. I knew where the closest arcade was. Like, for some time, we have all been to the Lake Worth establishment. What's that place called? Fun Depot. Fun Depot, man. Like, I love Fun Depot. I love everything that I'd go there today and get on those goddamn go-karts and race all of you. All right, and I'll do it with a smile on my face.
What was your go to though? In that Too Much Is Not Enough arcade or whatever the hell the name was.
What game stole the most quarters from you?
Yeah.
I always liked the shooter games for a long time.
Area 51, dude.
I was big on Area 51. I loved House of Dead 2. And I loved Time Crisis.
Time Crisis ate so many of my quarters.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Time Crisis so much. There was this mech game called Virtua On, and that was also a game that I played a lot. That you used to have and you can go like this, and the mech could go to the left or the right. You're in like, and then there was one right next to you, and you'd be battling the person next to you if you wanted to play, or they. There was this.
For our younger listeners, an arcade is a place where we would go put quarters into machines so we could play video games outside of our house.
Yeah. You know what shooting game I like though is the sniper one.
Sniper Elite or whatever. It was in Sniper Elite.
Super Scope, something Scope, something Scope.
Those are my shit. I always wanted to be the quickest. Bro, that shit was fun. I think that's why I'm a great shooter today. So,
that one was good.
Those are classics.
The Simpsons game and the Simpsons game and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game took an amount of quarters from me. They took probably hundreds of dollars from me over the years.
Yeah, the Simpsons game was brutal.
The X-Men one, all three of them were the same game basically.
Yeah, what about
exact same game?
What about that crazy taxi game where you had to speed through? That shit took a whole bunch of quarters.
I was burnt out on that one because I'd played that on the Dreamcast. I think it was Dreamcast that I would play that one on.
Yeah, it came out on the Dreamcast, yeah. And it was still hard on the Dreamcast. There's no mastering that game. Yeah, there's no mastering that game.
Yeah, that game was hard.
You can't min-max Crazy Taxi. There's nothing to min-max.
Is the arcade scene dead in New York?
Super dead. Oh.
Because in Austin there's an amount of like arcade bars. Like that is a thing now. It's just moved up now. Like it's no longer for kids so much. It's like if you're playing arcade games, you're gonna drink while you're playing these arcade games. So come down to the Cidercade, come to Pinballs, there's so many places here in Austin where you can go and play these old games.
There are several barcades and there are several pinball halls. Now that I think about it, in New York, yeah, you can go play pinball. You can go play art in like arcade barcades. Even my bar up the block, they have 3 pinball machines, and
But
some of them.
the scene has definitely changed, though, right? Like, are they still making arcade games the way that they used to? Like, they're basically, if a game came out on a console, there was an arcade version of it that was either better or worse, depending on which game it was.
Yeah, I mean, I think fighting games and rhythm games are still coming out at the same like degrees, but I think like your Time Crisis and the House of the Deads and things like that, they're probably still being made, but just not to the level that they were.
There's a Mario Kart arcade game.
Damn, really?
Yeah, it's actually cool because
Yeah,
it's not bad.
there
There's like 4 cars and they get like networked together. Like if they all start around the same time, it'll be like a 4-player co-op, or not co-op, but like it'll be like a 4-player versus. They'll all be in the race.
That's fire.
Yep, I thought that was cool.
I feel like Doe would play that Dance Dance Revolution game a lot.
But I do miss some of that old arcade scene, though, right? Like the places we used to go to when we were little shithead teenagers and we were just out all night, but we weren't old enough to actually get into like bars or anywhere. Down here, the area next to UT is called the Drag, and there were 2 arcades there. It was Einstein's, and I forget the name of the other one. It was like La Fun or something like that. And we would go to those 2 places, and we would lose a lot of quarters because there was always like this college dude there that was just kicking the shit out of us at any fighting game we played. Go and try to play Tekken, this dude would show up. Go play Mortal Kombat, this dude would show up. Street Fighter, he was already there.
Jesus,
He was like a ghost. He was just there, like just there to take our money. He was just there to make us lose our tokens as quickly as possible.
Yeah, that guy was the owner. He was the owner. But yeah,
we kept him on staff.
Funny.
Nah, but the Simpsons for sure. Time Crisis, House of the Dead, Crazy Taxi. Those are the games that throughout my life I would see them at an arcade and I'd be like, I just gotta play this shit. Historically, the games I played the most at arcades were like Street Fighter Alpha, shit like that. I actually have a funny story. I spent so long in my local laundromat because that was a thing back in the day. The laundromats and pizzerias would always have like 2 like arcade cabinets in there. They're like basically, they're gonna come put some clothes in this bitch, and then they just have to wait. So it's like, might as well have them lose some quarters in the meantime. And then the pizzeria too is like, oh, you're getting a slice. That was the best. Yo, you're gonna get pizza today. And you get to play a little on the arcade. Oh, it was so fucking lit.
You get that red plastic cup, and you go make yourself a suicide out of the fountain.
Oh my god. I had spent so long playing like Street Fighter and shit at these arcades that my cousin one time was like taking me around. Some of his other friends talking about, yeah, this is the best dude in our neighborhood at Street Fighter. Like we're gonna go and play. That's like how he told me. I don't know what he told those people, but when we got there, the game was not Street Fighter, okay? We were playing like SNK or some other Guilty Gear or some other fighting game. I sucked. I remember I lost and I felt such great shame that I was just like, man, after all these hours I put into the Street Fighter and all that, I go and play a fighting game against other people and I just got curb stomped. Well, my cousin set me up.
I am undefeated at Soul Calibur against Corey. Corey specifically. I'm undefeated.
Soul Calibur was crazy too.
Soul Calibur's a good series, man. I've got a story. So I went on a date one time, and we went to one of the barcades here in Austin. And I thought we were gonna play like the fun games, like where you're like shooting basketball or like doing like trying to win tickets. This chick was old school. We went and we played like Galaga and like Miss Pac-Man and like all the old games, and she kicked the shit out of me in every single one of them. Awesome. Galaga, I was out of lives in like 5 minutes, and she was playing that game for like 10 minutes straight. Like it was embarrassing. My turns would last 10 seconds, and she would be playing for like 5 to 10 minutes. The date did not go well. There was not a second date. I think she was embarrassed of my lack of old school video game skills.
Damn. You think if arcades are still around, you think that's would be a great first date? Just us to see how good of a because I mean, some of those arcade games it takes a lot of motor skills, right? So it's if this is how you test to see if they're adequate enough to be with me, I guess, in some weird way. Your hand-eye coordination sucks. Yeah, it's not who I want with me.
Dude, if It Takes Two had come out 20 years ago, 25 years ago, back in the 90s, there would have been an arcade version of It Takes Two that costed a lot of quarters. It was way harder than the base game, and you used a lot of quarters playing it.
Oh, that's a fact.
Game would have raked in the money.
But man,
do you guys
back in the day? It just used to feel so magical. You'd run into an arcade cabinet and you were just like, oh man, I need to play this, whatever the fuck this is.
It could be the worst shit in the world. Virtual golf with the little spinny thing, or the bowling with the little spinny thing.
I hated those.
That's the worst, but I played it anyways.
It's like you charged up your thumb just to know you focused that shit, like your chakra. You was charging that shit up. You just said, bah! You just flicked it so hard. I swear I almost broke my thumb when I tried doing that shit. It's the worst.
Talking about arcade machines, this is what I want to know. All right. Whenever you go into a bodega, there's the gambling arcade machines.
Yo.
I've never seen anyone play this shit. Who the fuck is playing it?
I've always wanted to sit down and play on one of those.
Had all the colorful buttons and shit. It was making all them sounds. But who's playing this shit?
Apparently, shout out to my grandparents on my Dominican side. They owned a bodega on Amsterdam. And apparently you use those machines for gambling and if gambling setups and stuff like that. And they had when the store would close down, they'd have this little underground gambling thing going on down there with all those machines.
Really?
That's a thing at bingo halls too. You ever go to a bingo hall? They have these little this little back section where it's slot machines and shit. But you don't win money. You win tickets that you use to buy prizes, but then instead of getting the prize, you can just ask for the cash value of the prize, or they have some convoluted thing like that where it's not actually gambling, but it fucking is.
Yeah,
that's the pachinko setup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in Japan,
the
they gamble
something with the balls, right?
Yeah. You gamble,
really,
and then you win these balls or whatever. Then you could use the balls to purchase these action figures. And then that place, you can sell the action figures. So you gamble, you win balls, you convert the balls to action figures. Then you go and take the action figure and you sell it, and you get money for it. And essentially, it's all the loops you got to jump through from pulling down on a fucking whatever a slot machine or whatever, and then to cashing out. With those steps included, it's not considered gambling anymore.
That's crazy.
I will tell you my worst arcade experience. So my family, my extended family used to like to gamble a lot. They still like to gamble a lot. They would go to Vegas once a year. They go to Louisiana several times a year, right? We went to Vegas one time for Christmas. And when your parents are gambling in Vegas, there's not a lot that you could do. You could either wait in the hotel room, or they had these little these kids areas. The kids areas, they would have arcades and shit set up, right? My parents did not understand how expensive these fucking games were, though, because they'd go gambling for 4 hours, right? 3 hours. And they'd leave us with $20 on those arcade games to play arcade games with. And that shit was gone in 5 minutes. It was gone immediately. So then we were just little shithead kids just getting in trouble with the arcade because we were just climbing on machines and trying to cheat the skee ball thing, just standing up there and just handing balls to the other person to maximize our tiny little bit of money we had left.
We're min-maxing this 20.
They're trying to get 12 more tickets out of the fucking skee ball machine.
I have been kicked out of an amount of arcades in Las Vegas. Let's just put it that way.
They got his picture on the wall, don't let this kid in.
This child is banned.
Dude, we had a little posse. There were 4 kids just in my family. Plus with my cousins and whatnot, there were 10 of us rolling around. We were we were a a gang basically going around just causing chaos at places when we went out.
That's incredible.
So wild, bro. I mean, I don't mind going. Like, I went on a cruise once. Me and my wife, we went to downstairs where the kids play little arcades or whatever. I was like, let's check it out and see. Girl, I mastered all these games throughout my life that when I went there to try to win a prize, it's because like, wow, you're so good at this. Yeah, I know, because I'm great. And it's like a bunch of those stupid ass games, you know? Like, I don't know. I found, like, kind of relived my childhood life because I always wanted to be that guy that was just good at it, or the kid that's just good at it. But then when you grow up, you find the technique and you're like, damn, I wish someone would have taught me this. So I taught all the kids how to do it. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, this is how you beat the game. You know what I mean? And sure enough, them kids was acing that shit. No one ever really did that for me growing up. You just kind of have to learn it, but gave the kid the tools. You know what I mean? It's always fun.
I'm still a sucker for a good claw machine game.
I like those claw machines and the if you ever go on a fucking cruise, they got the $100 stack of bills, like ones stacked up. That's the claw machine I like to fuck with. I fuck with that claw machine.
My uncle is the claw machine master.
Yeah?
Yeah, he'll pull up to the front of a Denny's and when just off rip, he'll look and then he'll put $1 in and he'll get whatever he's looking at.
Damn.
Yeah, he's a claw machine master. And
I
then
don't understand how
he'll just give it to somebody.
I don't understand how you get good at claw machines. I enjoy playing them, but I'm not good at claw machines by any stretch.
It's all about the positioning of the item. If there's an item in a certain position, he already knows what position it has to be in order to get it. Like in his mind.
Yeah, but some of those claw machines, they spin. And they do like you gotta pretty much know at what depth does this thing gonna spin at a correct angle for me to pick it up.
Yeah.
Claw machines are tricky. 100%.
Do you guys remember Boomers? Boomers had they advertised that they had a go-kart track that was over a mile long or some shit like that. It's over a mile long.
Was it?
I think so. I went over there. Wasn't that impressed with Boomers. I wasn't that impressed with it. I rode the mile long thing, 2 laps, and just something about it. I wanted my Fun Depot back. I just wanted to be at Fun Depot again. And I was like, I didn't like this place. It was like the hoity-toity arcade down the road from us. Like, so it is Boca. Fuck, what are we driving in the Boca for?
Boomers was like the fucking legit arcade. Like Fun Depot was like someone in the 60s that moved to that town, owned a couple arcade cabinets, and then by the mid 2000s they had accumulated so much shit that it was just like, yeah, I mean, it just, give us $5, you could come in here and play. Like, I don't know.
They had them all in their basement. Their mom was like, you got to get these out of here. You got to do something with these. He was like, I guess I'm going to start an arcade.
Yeah, for sure. But Boomers was like like a chain, like a real establishment. Like Fun Depot looks family owned,
Yeah.
But I do have one thought. Aside from what our favorite arcade games were or whatever, what were some of the coolest arcade games that you've like come across?
Any of the ones that you were in like that little pod and the pod would like move around. They had a Star Wars one that did that. They had like a BattleTech or BattleMech one that did that. That shit was always so cool to me. That shit also usually cost about like $1.50 to $2 per play. So I didn't play it a lot.
Yeah. Fun Depot had this boxing game. Yeah, I used to waste all my money.
With the 2 gloves you would wear.
And you had to...
Yeah. It had some type of like hand/head tracking. Your feet had to be like in this placement. And then you had to fight all these like, Punch-Out-esque opponents or whatever.
They had a cop version of that too, where it was like Time Crisis, where you had to like keep moving into cover to not get shot.
Yeah, I never played that.
Huh.
Laser tag was one of my favorites. I always fucked with laser tag.
Yo, laser tag?
I was a master at laser tag. I would never get hit, but I'll do all the hits.
We need to do some laser tag when y'all come down to Austin.
You have it there?
I'll be down.
There's a laser tag joint here for sure.
You know what? We should do that. Loser pays the bar tab.
We can do that.
We're doing
Also-
that. 2 losers will pay the bar tab.
I'd like to go to the Rapids in Palm Beach with you guys.
Ugh.
Oh my god.
I don't want to see any rabbits.
Fuck the Rapids, bro. The Rapids is sorry.
I thought they closed that place down.
No, it's still open, unfortunately.
Do they have alligators in there?
No?
Oh, yeah, I don't want to go to Rapids.
Fake plastic ones.
Rapids is so trash. That to me was like, I'm not. Let me not say trash. As a kid, it was fun, but so trash. Like,
Sometimes the Rapids was fire though. I remember like some summers I'd go a few times and there'd be just days where it was fucking lawless in there. Like there were days where you'd go and the staff was like on point, stopping you from doing things and all that stuff, and those days sucked. But there were days where it was fucking lawless. Like you know those fucking yellow slides where you have to sit on the fucking blue mats?
Uh-huh.
It'd be like me, Ronald, Ray, Rand, and we'll just get in like a big line, all like 4 of us, like going down together. Like no fucking lifeguard will let you do this shit.
Is this
You know
the
what
place
I'm
where you
saying?
broke your back? Or is that that's a different place?
Yeah, I didn't break my back at a fucking water park.
I thought it was a water
broke my
park.
back.
You on the
that was
slide. Was that
dope.
doughy?
I broke my back on a water slide. Yeah,
what a dick.
I was indulging myself too much. Yeah, the staff should have told me, "Hey, guy, you're too fat. You need to not go on this."
Yeah, for the longest, the Rapids didn't have weight restrictions. Yo, I had a friend who worked at the Rapids for like a summer, right? And he said he was working the bottom of the slide that caused the incident that they basically implemented weight restrictions. He said one day he was sitting at the bottom of the slide and he's just minding his own business, just like chilling, whatever. And he was manning this one slide where it was like a raft. And like 4 or 5 people would get into this raft. And then it would, do whatever the fuck. He said he was just sitting down there chilling, minding his own business, just, lifeguarding and shit. And he heard the biggest fucking crash imaginable. That shit was like, "Da!" That he got up and he was like, what the fuck is going on? He was looking up at the slide. He thought it was like fucking breaking or something. Like, he was looking, and then he said the fattest man he's ever seen in his entire life, just fucking no raft, just face down, just fucking slid out. And then he was like, oh shit. And then another one. And another one. He said like 4 or 5 like massively obese dudes just came face down on the slide like they were all unconscious. No. he got some help, but he was like trying to lift these guys out, and he was a super skinny guy. And then he said after that they stopped letting fat people on those rides.
Yo, Rapids was infamous. They'll make your ass get. Yo, it was the worst, right? Because you get up there waiting in line the whole time. Oh, you look a little too fat. Come here. And he'll put you on the scale. They'll be there looking. You're like maybe a pound or 2 off their numbers. And they'll be like, you're going to have to walk back down. And then you walk.
I wish
the
that
walk
person.
of shame all the way back down.
Yeah, you can't, bro. You had to walk all the way back down. Shit is the worst.
They should have had a special like speedy way to exit, like a fireman's pole that you like slide down or something,
or just let me go down the fucking slide. Fuck out of here.
I wish they would have told me.
Exit slide. That shit was terrible. It was like that fucking blue fucking dipper Sunday shit. It was like you would go down this fucking tube so fast, you'd fly right out. And then you were like in like a fucking cone, and you're just like spinning in this cone
until you fall in the hole.
And there was just a fucking hole, and then you would fall for like 7 feet before crashing into this pool. Yo, I swear, anytime I got on this ride, no matter what I did, water rushed into my nostrils. Like I couldn't prevent it. I hated that shit. Like fuck that ride.
Damn, classic.
I got one more arcade adjacent story. So it's not quite an arcade, but we used to go to this LAN center here in Austin. Basically, this LAN center was like a place. They had a bunch of computers set up. You pay them some kind of fee per hour. You get to go there and play video games, right? Like we play a lot of Battlefield and like old co-op games. And this is before like high-speed internet at home. So that's our best way that we could play with each other, right? It's just this big, massive like LAN setup where you could play games with everyone that was in there. But they also had a copy of Steel Battalion.
Nice.
Do y'all remember that game? It had the massive controller to like start up the game. Like it would be like, okay, now turn on your fuel thrusters, and you had to like flip all these switches, and it'd take you like 5 minutes of like cutscene plus flipping switches to get situated in this game, right? And they charged like $5 for 15 minutes in this game. They charged a lot for people to play this game. And Corey fucking loved this game. So he'd go there and he'd sit, he'd do his cutscene, he'd be flipping all his switches, and then he'd be like right there loaded into the mission. And then I would sneak up on him because here was a fatal flaw with this controller. This controller had a little hidden knob. It had a knob like at the top right or something. And you would flip the little cage on that knob and then you press it and it would eject you from the mech and it would immediately end the mission. So Corey would be there for like 5 minutes to get set up in the mission, and I'd sneak up and eject him immediately. And then he'd have to go back through the 5-minute thing all over again.
That would piss me off.
You're a dick.
It was fucked up, but it was so funny.
That's fucked up. Did he waste? And that's wasting $5.
It is definitely wasting his $5, yes.
Costing a man happiness and bread. That's the worst.
Oh man, it was so funny though.
I never got to play that game, but that game looks so fucking cool.
Dude, the controller was massive. The controller was huge. Like, just took up like an entire table, basically.
I do remember one time though, and when it came to the arcades, like you wait in a line, like there's a couple, you're waiting, there's people in front of you. Then the kids' friends pull up in front of you. Oh, yeah, you're having fun? Here, let me slide my quarter in real quick and play. And meanwhile, there's a fucking line. You're like, yo. Fuck, wait in line. He's like, oh yeah, we're not gonna play. And then they start playing. You're like, oh nah, fuck out of here. I'm all yo, move, get out of here. I'm playing. Y'all niggas is beasting. Like, I hated that shit. Niggas would love to cut the fucking line, bro. Especially a game that you've been waiting for all day to play. You want to cut the line? Nah, not over here, buddy. I used to I'd push them off mid game and just start playing their shit, and then put my quarter in and play my turn.
Worst game in the arcade. What's the worst game in the arcade? What's the biggest waste of your money?
You put a little token in and they're pushing, and then they just push.
Oh, that's one of my favorite. Like, if you're going for pure tickets, that is not a bad way to go about getting some pure tickets, honestly. But it is the most boring game in the entire arcade.
I don't really had any worst games. I mean, I always found the basketball games to be like, okay, everybody does that, but no worst games.
Just lit. Those basketball games cause some of the most competition that you could find in an arcade.
The only thing
they've gotten even more complicated now. Like the net moves up and down and back and forth, and
the only thing I like doing that is coming from behind and blocking people's shot. Bow, fuck you, and just walk away. Like, that was always fun.
Telling me I'm wasted and Corey's $5 and he's over here knocking basketball. That's how
no,
people
this is all tactic. You got to be aware. You can get blocked. Don't take every shot.
Fun story. I'm having a hard time saying where this happened, but this is my memory. Me and maybe other people, but Doey was there and Zeus was there, and they played a basketball game, and Doey outshot Zeus.
Oh,
it was recently too. Yeah,
but where were we?
I'm not too sure.
But like, I know this happened. Zeus was hurt in his heart. Like, he was like, oh shit, Doey beat me in basketball. That can't be correct.
Yo, I outshot him. And it was, I don't remember what we were doing. I think it may be at his house where he lives in the arcade room. Maybe we called you up or something.
Maybe that's the case. I feel like I have this memory for some reason. But I'm like, I couldn't have been somewhere. Like, it's been so long, I don't think this would have happened.
Did you give him a little snickering laugh face type thing when you beat him? Like, oh. Like I beat you? Oh, like did you do that to him?
No, I just felt good. No, I just felt good.
Yeah,
But you showed
Doty's not
it.
a
He
big shit
expressed it.
talker.
But he had to have expressed it. Like, oh, good game. Because Zeus ain't trying to hear good game, bitch. You just beat him in a thing that he finds like he can beat you in, and you just beat him. He ain't taking that. Was there a rematch? There had to be a rematch.
Doty told him, man, that was pretty good, Zeus. You showed some good hustle out there.
Should have been like, yo, your shooting's improved.
Damn. That's the killers.
These are fighting words is what this is. These are the fighting words after you win.
If it would have been me or Tony, we would have rubbed it in his face. Just because we're supposed to lose that match. You know what I'm saying?
Not me.
Be like, damn, I was shooting lefty
You're
too.
trash.
I'm a shooter. A shooter.
Challenge accepted. I'm accepting it for Zeus.
Telling you, I would have rubbed that shit in Zeus' face. I'd be like, yo, you gotta just arc a little bit better. I'll do subtle attacks, right? Then when he gets offensive, then that's when you go 100%. I'm a piece of shit. Whatever.
Like, you just give basic advice. Advice that he should already know, that he obviously already knows, so he's gonna get pissed off that you're giving it.
Yo, your stance
Zeus, you want to make sure
off.
that you're facing towards the basket when you're shooting at it.
And don't shoot with both hands. Shoot, palm and aim. Just release at your.
One hand's for support and one is for shooting the ball. He would get so pissed off about that.
Yeah, he would. He definitely.
That'd be the best.
I can see him now getting so fucking tight.
This could be the first episode he comments on.
Yeah. Facts. But, Doe, did you see your worst games? I know I didn't have any worse ones.
He said that little coin one.
Oh, yeah, the coin one.
Yeah, the coin machines.
And then Pucho said his.
Mine is any old school game, honestly. I'm so bad at the old arcade games.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, Space Invaders, Pac-Man.
Pac-Man
These will
was
fucking
fire.
take you out in like a minute. Like, you're not built for this shit.
I like Miss Pac-Man.
Yeah, Miss Pac-Man was fire.
What's the difference?
It was a little bit faster, right?
I think Pac-Man, nothing ever changed. It would be like every time you beat the level stood the same, but the ghosts got more difficult, and you're stuck in that loop. Miss Pac-Man, I think, was a game that introduced, like, every time you beat it, there'd be like different layouts of the levels, different colors.
Right.
Oh, okay.
All types of shit. It looked like Pac-Man. She just had like a pink bow. But Miss Pac-Man was fire. I remember I had it on Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis or something like that. It had a memory card built into it. And I remember there were like 300 levels in this game. Like I remember they had like a screen where you could like, go through pages of all the like level layouts and stuff.
The worst
I put a lot
shooter.
of time.
The worst shooter was that one where you had to save Aerosmith. Do you remember that one? You shot CDs. Aerosmith got kidnapped or something, and you had to save them. Do you not remember? Man, I swear this is a real game.
Wasn't it that DX Generation game?
I think so.
That shit sounds terrible.
I hated like there'd be the shitty on rail shooters.
Revolution X. That was the name of the game.
Yeah, Revolution X. Yeah,
Yeah, that game sucked.
it had a shitty port for the Sega too.
Did it really?
Yeah, really terrible.
You have to use the what was the Sega gun called? The Vindicator or
We didn't even have that. We just had the controllers. It was the worst experience in the world.
the Menacer. All the Sega like accessories were named batshit insane.
They're badass.
I always wanted that one where you stood in the little like the ring and you could punch.
Punch. I don't remember that one.
Yeah, the Activator is what the name is. The Sega Activator.
Such weird names.
Sega was insane, man. They did a lot of coke in those offices. I guarantee.
The coke, they just sat there. All right. Activator. Like, what the fuck?
Snorts a line. He's like, I got it. It's a hedgehog, but he's got to go fast.
Yo, man. Well, to all the fans, first time listeners and viewers, or you've always come back to us.
Yo, comment in this comment section. What's your favorite arcade experience? Did you remember your arcades in your neighborhood and stuff like that? We'd really like to know. Even if do you want a traditional relationship or do you want a progressive relationship? I like to phrase myself demisexual, though, other people like other stuff. So yeah, engage with us. And go ahead, Tony.
Yeah. Definitely engage with us. Subscribe. Share us.
Yes.
Friends, family, whoever. We're on all platforms. YouTube, Instagram, even on Spotify, audio only for those who like to drive around and listen to our voice. I don't know how many would like to listen to my voice, but I would say
shout out to the whore connoisseur.
Shout outs to her as well. She's also an avid listener, and she loves to comment and laugh at all of our fucking stories that just sound like we're fucking crazy. But
I'm just like begging her to get me laid. It's the most cringy shit in the world.
Domi gives no fucks. He's tweeting about titties at 4:00 in the morning. Like,
this man's a beast. Anyways, Thank you for continuously coming back and listening to us and laughing with us, laughing at our pain. We appreciate it. Comments, all the fans out there who do comment and DM us and whatever. We appreciate you guys. Thank you for being there and supporting us. But like always, people, go one up yourself.
Later, guys. Go watch Batman.